And I'm gonna line up my factory edge with this bottom right here. And the only part I really have to cut is this swoosh.
No audio on YouTube, which makes no sense.
Oh. Just kidding, I hear sound.
I think he was just being quiet.
It's just 30 seconds behind.
So I'm gonna. Oh, I'm talking. So I'm gonna squeegee right here across the bottom, and then I'm gonna cut my edge.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give myself just a little bit of blade.
Yeah, I have my mic muted. He's just being quiet.
Get here in the corner. And I'm gonna meet my my factory edge here.
Camera up more. You're doing a high view. Here. You get to juggle today. This is your preview window.
Is that better?
That's the view that you're given.
I've got it like almost as high up as it can be. Like it's in my chin.
Yep. Welcome to streaming.
Yeah, try in here.
Yep, that's good.
Okay.
Better.
So now I'm gonna cut my edge here, and I'm gonna kind of crease it in with my finger. Give myself a little bit of blade, and just follow along this line very carefully. Right down to the bottom. Now I gotta shift this over. Keeps trying to fall there. So I'm gonna slide this right about to where the rubber meets the plastic here. I gotta make sure that my bottom edge is still lined up here. I don't really want that to come up. So I got this going over the seal a little bit here. Right about to there. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my inside corner. Here I feel more comfortable going from down to up rather than vice versa. I'm just gonna rip this off. I'm gonna cut my excess up here to get this out of the way. And now what I want to do is I want to center this between my gaskets here. So I'm going to slide this back about 1/4 inch. And then I'm also going to slide it down just a little bit. So we're about halfway into both of our seals here. And then I want to squeegee this so it'll stay still when I roll the window down. Is it good? Is it good? I'm not that tall. I'm sorry.
This is what they see, so pay attention to that.
Yeah, I'm trying to, focus on, both things at once. I'm not that tall. I'm trying to get a feel for it. So I gotta put the key in.
It gets tricky for sure. I think I need to raise his volume.
So now I'll go ahead, now that I got it tacked up, I'm gonna roll it down. I want to get it low enough so that I can get a good angle when I cut my edge, since this is a high up truck. I'm going to go ahead and start in the corner right here. I like to give myself quite a bit of blade when I do these cuts. And then I'm just going to follow smoothly across the whole top. I'm just taking my time to get a nice smooth cut. All the way to the edge there. Now I'm going to go here to the peel board. I have to find that ruler. I put your ruler somewhere.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, I don't think I'll be able to have it extract the individual price. I can have it determine that pricing has been given.
Okay.
Because if I just
So before I make my cut here, I'm going to squeegee it down to make sure it stays in place.
not gonna know, like, if somebody wants a really specific
And I'm just going to use my straight edge, line it up with basically my best fit line right here.
but they know they want ceramic.
Just a little bit straighter.
Not gonna be any way for me
And I'm just going to follow carefully across to finish my line there. And then here at the bottom too, I just want to finish that line there. Up here, I got a little bit of a bump at the end there, so I'm going to kind of smooth that out at the same time.
So, since it's gonna be giving your regular
Finish my cut there,
quote gets generated with your
just like that.
if we just have it detect
Then up here,
then it can send the quote with the default pricing.
I'm going to go ahead and follow my line just like before.
But it'll send default price.
It's gonna send whatever pricing is appropriate for whatever
Okay.
vehicle.
I want to shift this a little bit.
Yeah, that part will still work. Where if because this is a different bot, the auto bot will determine what that price is.
But it won't have it in the screenshot.
So same thing here. I'm going to follow my line here.
The screenshot's just always gonna have your default pricing, but yeah, I don't have, there's no way for the quote generated currently to know the
Just
user
like
customer
that.
pricing if it's a Tesla Model 3.
Here, since we got such a small thing to cut off, I'm just going to eyeball it. And then when I round my corners, I like to use my finger as a guide. So I'll just round here. Just like that. Same thing on this corner. Gonna round that just a little bit more. Kind of want to smooth this out just a little bit so I don't have a jagged point there.
So I think that this is something that can,
Then here I'm gonna squeegee. I'm gonna snap my blade again because I want to keep my point sharp here.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and round this corner.
we'll be able to do that because the decider bot will be able to look. The decider
like that.
the handling of everything. So in that architecture, we'll be able to do it, but retrofitting
Around
to
this
what we
corner.
already have, I think
And there's my pattern.
for the immediate future, just having external pricing. And that we can have it be like a yes or no. This pricing we're gonna give, if it's yes, that yet when it goes to yes, that triggers the setting of the pricing.
Yeah, it's gonna.
So then I'm gonna get ready to install this.
Because that's like another, I would have to build like another.
I gotta prep it first.
Have the bot quote the pricing,
Yeah.
and then just these are your
Yeah.
three options.
Yeah, and I'll make that pop up still at the same spot.
Do you, hey Maddie,
This is films.
do you want me to shrink every door? Or does
yeah.
it? Okay. I can do
Whatever,
that.
however you do it. is
Oh,
fine.
so it does, I was just, well, because normally I don't shrink these, but I was asking, like,
You're gonna throw people off.
okay, I'll shrink it.
But yeah, we can have that architecture, we'll be able to have it track the conversation state, and then the conversation state will determine when it's time.
So first I'm gonna go ahead and just prep this with the razor blade.
All of that information of
I'm gonna get this a little bit wet,
price to send and what's the right price.
just go over it.
And it'll
I'm
determine,
mostly
like, oh, this
looking
person just
for
needs
any loose piece of adhesive or piece of grit, essentially.
truck, and charge more for a truck, and it'll be able to generate that dynamically.
Okay. Alright, that works.
And I just want to go over the whole thing like this, and then I'll use my Wolfen knife to go over the edges.
And probably just the. No, it's probably for the.
Just to see if there's anything here in the edge. Just kind of smoothly over it like that.
If it's for the old vacuum, just throw it out.
So what I do here is I squeegee my bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and roll this down just a little bit. Like that. That's about good.
This can move.
Like that? Okay.
That's better because now we can see it better.
I'm just like kissing the phone at this point.
Yeah.
I'm going to wipe my top edge. I feel like that's pretty much like the biggest hot spot for dirt, is if it runs down from the top. It's kind of a little bit of a smudge here from the window sitting up in the gasket for so long, so I want to go over it a couple times. Then I'm going to go ahead and razor the top. Just like that, go across the whole top edge. Then I'm going to squeegee the whole thing off. So I'll just start at the very top and work my way down. Just side to side. I'm going to double check my edges here. I'll just spray them down, and I'll take a triangle here and just kind of sweep it in the edges really quick. Now I gotta shrink my door here too, so I'm just gonna flip this and shrink it right on the peel board here. Dang, I'm hearing myself in the past. Okay, so I'm gonna squeegee this whole thing down. I want to get all the water out of it. Gotta grab my heat gun here. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull shrink the bottom of this. So I'm just checking to make sure that my heat gun's nice and hot first. And then I'm just going to go ahead, start lifting it from one side. And I want to work just carefully across the whole bottom like this. And what I want to do is I just want to add a little bit of tension to the window. So that way it follows the curve of the glass when I lay it. I'm going back over the bottom here. Make sure I don't have any fingers in it. Just like that. I'll go over it with my card to double check here. And that should be about good. So now we're ready to install. So I'm going to go ahead and squeegee over this one more time. Wait, what? What are you laughing about?
My MTU tag. It's almost out. I gotta refill it quick.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that it was this one you hooked.
Magic water right now.
I still had magic water. Should I wait for you to hook it back in before I start laying this, I assume?
Just a minute.
All right. Have to hold up just a second since I'm almost out of water.
Take this, finish filling off, and then
Oh, dang, you fill it until the soap is overflowing.
no, I just threw the soap in a little over half full right now.
Okay.
I was getting impatient, so
Yeah, I definitely do the same.
okay. So we're gonna throw this back on, and then I'm gonna rinse it off, so then we can see it. Da 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 da.
Washing the tank.
Nice and clean, and now we're gonna pressurize it. Well, now it's broken. Make sure that's sealed in. There, should be good now. There we go. Now we're gonna hook this back up. Now you have spray.
Now I have water. All right. Now we're ready to install. Okay, that should be about good. So for good measure, I'm just going to squeegee this one more time.
You know what? Actually,
Now I'm going to go ahead and just coat the whole window with soapy water. I just want to get it really good and soapy for the install.
Excuse me.
I'll come over here and peel my window. And I want to peel it to about the halfway point. I feel like that's right about where the sweet spot is. If I peel it too low, then I get extra junk in there sometimes. If I peel it too... Did I flip this around? I may have flipped this around. Yeah, I gotta flip this back around the other way. So I'll squeegee this flat one more time. Now it'll peel easily. There we go. So now I'll peel it to right about the halfway point. Go ahead and spray this. And I just want to get this good. So I want to get pretty much this whole side in, nice and even. And then I can start to work on my other side here, get that into place. And get a nice close. Then once we have that in place, I'm going to carefully squeegee the top just to make sure it doesn't shift on me. Like this, back the other way. Right now I'm really trying to just make sure that I get the window tacked up really nice before I roll the window up. So right now it's still kind of being a little slippy on me. Just want to make sure that I get it really close to that edge up there. So I'm going to heat this on the outside a little bit just to get it tacked up faster. This is just kind of to get it to actually stick really good, kind of speed up the process a little bit. Because I really want to make sure that it's in place before I roll it up. I feel like the more time I spend on this first step, the second step kind of goes easier once you actually roll it up. This is really foundational to the install process. Getting a little bit tangled in the hoses here. So now I'll go ahead and squeegee a lot more of this water
Give away a
out.
good felt coat.
Now I can see that's actually sticking a lot better.
A shank and a good.
Now I can actually get the water out. It's sliding still a little bit right there at the top edge. In the right corner. So I might heat this up just a little bit more because it's still sliding a little bit. Okay, so now it seems like it's a little bit more in place. So now we're squeegeeing over it one more time at the top, making sure we get all the water out, making sure that it's actually going to stick when we roll it up. All right, everything should be good. So now I think we're ready to roll it up. Just like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and spray my bottom, same as I did the top. Just nice and soapy, nice and evenly. And then when I peel this, what I do is I put my finger right here where the tint meets the plastic. And as long as I keep my finger right there, when I pull this plastic down, it'll stay in place. There, pull it down. Now I'm gonna go ahead and spray the whole bottom of the that nice and soapy too. And then cut this bottom, but on this it's kind of a different situation just because how low that bottom seal actually sits. We don't have to go like that far down into the window. So now I'm just squeegeeing the rest of my water out.